Welcome back, Project Hardman Vlog 2. So this project is about my kind of goals and targets for this year, primarily being Hardman Killarney, full distance triathlon in August, looking to get a personal best for myself on that course and try and break the course record. So a big ask in itself, but alongside that, the whole process, what I'm trying to do is my big goals and ambitions are to see how far can I get in the sport. I want to get to the top of the age group ranks, and I want to see can I justify taking out a pro license and racing against and with the best in the world. But what I also want to do with that is have a business and a lifestyle that allows me to train and race and grow a triathlon community, a Team What's Up community, that allows me to live this lifestyle. So make a living, grow a business, run a successful business, while also being able to do everything that I'm passionate about, coaching and training in triathlon, because I love the sport, as well as growing a family. So 3 young kids, this time in my life, really important to be able to enjoy time as the girls are growing up. So the big picture here is, can you do it? Can you do everything? Can you do it all? Can you be there for your family, provide for your family, spend time and enjoy them growing up? Can you grow and run a successful business alongside that? And can you achieve your goals and ambitions in a sport such as triathlon? So that's the big picture for me, and this Project Hardman is the big target for this year. So I'm always thinking long term, always playing the long game in terms of where I want to get to, and every target is like a milestone along the way. So I've got my laptop here. Last week was week 2 of structured training towards this. So these videos are just raw, honest, just me talking and discussing what am I doing, what have I learned, how things are going, if it's going well, not so well, and just sharing my experience with anyone who's interested. So I'm just going to get stuck into it. So week 2 of training, I'll run through some totals. Total training hours for the week was just over 12 hours 16 minutes. That was broken up into 1 hour 50 of swimming. Distance covered for the swim was 5.9k over 2 swims. Bike duration was 4 hours 16, all indoors on the watt bike. Run duration 4 hours 46, total run distance 52k. So what that week looked like in terms of sessions, there were 2 swims, there were 3 bikes, and 5 runs, as well as 2 strength and mobility sessions. So 2 swims, 3 bikes, 5 runs, 2 strength and mobility sessions. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 sessions over the course of the week. Briefly run through what that looked like, or what those sessions looked like and how they went. So Monday was kicking things off, supposed to be an easy hour jog with the twins in the double buggy, but with the weather, it was really stormy that day. The winds were really strong. I just didn't think it would make any sense taking out the double buggy with the wind and rain cover on it, because that just acts like an absolute parachute and would have actually been quite hard work. It's very heavy as it is, so adding extra resistance would have been good. So I just went out and did the hour early that morning myself, just to get it done. So an easy 60-minute run. And then second session on Monday was some strength and mobility work. So again, just working on improving range and movement while developing some strength as well. Tuesday then was the first run with a little bit of work involved. So it was a just over 45-minute run, just 10k in distance, but the bit of work involved was just 2 by 1k efforts, with 1k steady in between. So those 2 1k splits were kind of working above threshold. So they were kind of ticking in at about 3:35, 3:32 pace, and steady in between was about 4:40, 4:35 pace. So it felt really good to get a bit of work in. Nothing massively fast or difficult or long, but just good to get some work in and see how that felt. And then the second session on Tuesday was a swim. So 2.4k swim, main set being 8x100 pull and then 1650 swim. Just focusing on steady swimming with a bit of drill work involved as well. Finally starting to get a bit of a feel for the water again. First week back last week or the week before was not great in the water. When you haven't swam in ages and you're not swimming that regularly and you're not a swimmer naturally, you can lose the feel for the water very quickly. So last week's swims weren't good, but starting to feel a bit more normal in the water and pace kind of coming back with that as well. So that was really a positive swim. Wednesday then, got to do a bit of work on the bike. So a lot of the kind of stuff doing at the moment is just kind of easy base work, just getting fitness built back up, getting my aerobic base developed. But Wednesday's bike just had 6x3 minutes at or just above threshold. So those kind of 3 minutes efforts were kind of maybe 320 to 330 watts. Again, felt good. Not long efforts, not too much, but just getting a bit of work done. And then the second session on Wednesday was an easy hour jog with the twins in the double buggy. Stormy weather calmed down a little bit, so I was able to actually get the buggy out this time. Girls were chomping at the bit to get out for a bit of training since they missed their run on Monday. That was Wednesday. Thursday then, started the day with a easy run, working on some drills, so just improving form and efficiency, and some activation. So when you do some run drills and some activation stuff and then you run after it, or if you do your cool down, everything's switched on and feels really, really good. So it's a nice way to feel good running. And then the second session on Thursday was a swim with some 50s, like a build of 50s. Main set being 25 50s, where the first one is drill, and then from 2 to 5 you're building the pace with each 50. So that was a really good session. Again, it's practicing pace control and being able to increase pace as you increase effort. So you really have to focus on what you're actually doing in the water as well as putting an effort in the right way. So Friday then was just an easy day, 90 minutes, easy base ride, nothing to report. And Saturday, bit of work again on the run. So some hill reps on the run on that nice hill that I have just around the corner. Just 3x4 by 1 minute hill reps, easy back down to give about an hour 10 run volume overall. And then 40 minutes of strength and mobility as well that day. And then to finish off the week, Sunday was a base and fat max session on the bike. 90 minutes just with 30 minutes easy base, 30 minutes at fat max and 30 minutes easy. And that rounded out the week to just over 12 hours. Definitely improvement from the first week. Feeling good, was ticking off all the sessions. Nothing too hard or too difficult that I couldn't recover from or that I couldn't do or achieve. So all within scope that I could do it, recover and continue on the next day. One thing I did do this last week that I wanted to start doing was, before one of the swims, I spent 10 minutes doing some work with the stretch cords for activation and some strength of in and around the shoulder, and I found that was really good, and that's one of the reasons why I felt I had a good swim that day. So 10 minutes of stretch cords before swimming, so I'm going to try and continue on that again. Other than that, just continuing to gradually build the training. Laying down the consistency is number one for me here. That a consistent week means I can train what I'm doing, the volume and the little bit of intensity that I'm doing, but that I can recover from it and I can repeat it the next day, maybe slight build or slight progression. But it's trying to establish what's the base or the core week that I can do without having any detrimental or negative effects. So all of this is looking to build my fitness across the board in a positive way, that's trying to get nearly the minimum dose for maximum effect. Because when you're limited with time, when you've got really busy days in terms of minding kids, fitting in work, trying to fit in your training, training early hours in the morning, days can be quite long, so recovery can be quite tricky if you're not on top of everything. So training a little bit too much or training a little bit too hard in that type of situation can actually take away from performance progression. So we're trying to be really smart here with doing the appropriate training within this busy environment, that we can still make gains and perform well. So one thing that I might look at doing for next week is maybe flipping my days a little bit. So a lot of the time I train quite early in the morning before the girls are awake, so that I can get my training done, and then I'm there to get them up and there for breakfast and stuff like that. And I usually kind of work then during the day or the middle of the day. So what I might try next week to see how it feels in comparison is kind of to flip that. So with a bit of flexibility with how I work, I can do some work early in the morning and I can try do my training during the day. So it means that I'm not always training at the crack of dawn, trying to wake up. So it might give me a chance to see what training, as the body is actually awake and has had some fuel in for a few hours, see what that feels like, see how it plays in terms of session execution and recovery, and how I feel throughout the day. So that's going to be one thing I want to have a look at for next week. So week 2 in the books. If you have any questions or comments on anything that I'm doing, or anything in the video, or anything that you're interested in, please feel free to comment below or to drop me a message. All the training I do is freely available on Strava, so if you're interested in seeing what I'm actually doing, you can go and follow me on Strava and see my activities. If you're following along, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, maybe share it to any friends that might be interested, and yeah, just enjoying the process of getting stuck into training and sharing the journey along the way.